Hi guys, this is Paige. I want to make this video about how if you're God's child, Jesus Christ wants to feed you. Jesus Christ is the good shepherd, and his children are his sheep. He protects the sheep, he cares for the sheep, and he feeds the sheep. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungred. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered, Jesus answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. What was happening there? Jesus Christ fasted for a long period of time, and the devil came and tempted him and told him, Make these stones be bread. And then Jesus said, It's not physical bread that man lives on. That's what he meant. Physical food, but every word that comes out of the mouth of God. It's not just the physical bread alone, it's also man should live by God's word. And Jesus Christ is the Word of God. He is the bread of life. Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. They said unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. In another verse he says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. I am the bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. The Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, How can this man give us his flesh to eat? And then he said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, except ye eat of the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So Jesus Christ compares himself and says he is the bread of life. He's the spiritual bread. And he talks about the manna which came down from heaven. In Exodus, we read about how the Israelites, they were hungry. What happened? God had manna rain down from heaven. It's symbolic. It was physical bread. And it actually tasted like honey. Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And then they named it manna, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. You know how I said Jesus Christ's words? Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. It's symbolic. God had manna rain down from heaven, physical bread, but Jesus Christ is the real spiritual bread, which we feed on. See how he even said, those who eat my flesh and drink my blood have life? He's saying, feed from me. Eat from me. I am the bread. But what is he? He's the living Word of God. You could think of it as bread. There's also verses about milk, meat, fruit. Here it says, As the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Stay me with flagons, comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. Jesus Christ compares himself to an apple tree. She said, I ate from the apple tree and it was sweet. He's the bread. He's like the tree of life you eat from, the fruit. You know, a sister told me she had a dream of a man and he was telling her to eat apples. I believe that dream is from God. He feeds us. How do you get fed by God? Through his word. He feeds you through his word. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. The Bible is God's word, but also when he speaks to you, when he's speaking to you, is also his word. He feeds you through his word. He is the word. Jesus Christ is the living word of God. He feeds us through the word, his word. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So how do you grow in faith? How do you grow in God? By hearing his word. Now, Jesus Christ is like the apple tree. It's like he feeds you apples or fruit through his word. It's symbolic. God's very symbolic, right? Or bread. There's actually a fruit that's called breadfruit. I think that's a joke. God made that. And we eat his fruit or bread. We eat from him. And then we bear fruit from the fruit he feeds us. Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. So you see, he's the vine and we're the branches. The branch can't bear fruit on its own. The fruit comes from the vine, which is Christ. How do we bear fruit? We bear fruit by eating, feeding from Christ, his fruit. You could think of it as him teaching you too. You eat the fruit, and symbolically, it's kind of like you eat the full fruit from him, and within that are seeds. Then the seed grows fruit on your tree. It's kind of like that. We bear the fruit through him. That's how I bear fruit. I feed from Jesus Christ. He teaches me. He gives me fruit, his word. I eat it, and then I bear fruit, and I teach you. It comes from him. He's the vine, I'm the branch, and I'll bear the fruit on my own. It says even here, let's see. Thou hast ravished my heart, my sister, my spouse. Thou hast ravished my heart with one of thine eyes, with one chain of thy neck. How fair is thy love, my sister, my spouse! How much better is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ointment than all spices. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue. The smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed. Thy plants are as an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits. Campfire with spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, with all the chief spices, a fountain of gardens, a well of waters, and streams of Lebanon. O awake, O north wind, come thou south, blow upon my garden, that the spices thereof may flow out. Let my beloved come into his garden and eat his pleasant fruits. What is that saying there? Jesus Christ is like, you've ravished my heart. Speaking to the bride, which would be us. This is the obedient bride, okay? What does ravish mean? Fill someone with intense delight. I'm so delighted by you, my bride. And under your tongue is like milk and honey. It's like the honeycomb. And then it's like, you have all these plants and pleasant fruits and you smell good to me. And then she's like, come and eat my fruit. And then after that, he says, I come into my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. It's like he eats the fruit. You see, we eat the fruit from him. He feeds us from his tree. You can think of it as bread, whichever way you want to think of it. He feeds us through his word. To us, personally, and the Bible. He feeds us, then we bear fruit. And he eats it. Jesus Christ's fruit that he feeds me is delicious, very tasty, very sweet. Do you see what she says? He's like an apple tree. I ate the fruit and it was sweet. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. It's sweet to the soul. It tastes good symbolically. And it sounds good to the ear. And when I bear fruit, it tastes good to him too. It's very tasty, very sweet. We bear fruit, right? Fruit is sweet. It's sweet. And then it later says, how beautiful are thy feet with shoes, O prince's daughter. Symbolic of preaching. Now, not all daughters of God or people are going to be a preacher. I am. But you see there, it's symbolic of preaching. There's also a verse here where it says, O my dove, thou art in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the stairs. Let me see thy countenance. Let me hear thy voice. For sweet is thy voice. Thy countenance is comely. The prayer of the upright is his delight. It's very sweet to him. It's very funny too, or interesting. It says you're in the clefts of the rock. Where was Moses put by God? Moses wanted to see God's face. God was like, you can't see me or you'll die. And what did he do? He put him in the cliffs of a rock, or the clefts of a rock, and then passed by him. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. It's symbolic. We're like in the cleft of a rock, meaning we don't see his face. Because if we saw his face, we'd die. It's literally in Song of Solomon. It's all very hidden. But you see, it's sweet to his ear. You know what God was showing me? He was like telling me that I was like a Girl Scout. I was like, what? You keep showing me this. You know, when I looked up Girl Scout, you know what their emblem is? The 4-leaf clover. The 4-leaf clover. A scout actually is a soldier or other person sent out ahead of a main force so as to gather information about the enemy's position, strength, or movements. And a Girl Scout, what are they thought of? What do they do when you think of a Girl Scout? A lot of the times they give people cookies. Sweet. What's another way God feeds his children? Through his other children. For example, I'm feeding you right now. I'm feeding you. What am I feeding you? I'm feeding you fruit from my tree. And it's sweet. And fruit is full of vitamin C. Vitamin C, when you think of vitamin C, what do you think of? Healing. Jesus Christ's fruit is filled with vitamin C. Very healthy for you. You see, health to the bones. That's what he was showing me. Vitamin C. Jesus Christ came, and he said that he came to heal the brokenhearted. It says in Scripture, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I heal. Then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Part of what I'm doing here is healing people. My fruit that I bear, that you eat when I feed you, is healthy. It helps heal people. Now, maybe not physically, but it helps people heal in the way it helps to make them whole in Christ. Gives them correct doctrine, shows who God is. Even said in Snow White, God had shown me I was like her. And they were like, she will heal the land. Part of what I'm doing here. He heals through me, especially women. Lots of women have been kicked down by men, and God's using me to help heal them and show them how God feels about them, basically. Means to make whole, you know, healthy, healing, free from ailment. Also to repair. I'm like a fixer of pots. I help people get out of Pharisee doctrines which bring confusion. And he's using me to heal his children. The fruit is filled with vitamin C. So what are some of the ways God feeds you? He feeds you through his word, the Bible. He feeds you through talking to you personally. And he feeds you through his children, who he's anointed, and he speaks out of their mouth. Thus, it's his word also. And he's feeding you and healing you through his word. God was showing me that, you know, he would show me fruits, different types of fruits. He started showing me all these like M&Ms, cupcakes, and you know, ice cream and things. I was like, why are you showing me these things? And then you know what he was showing me? I was like his candy girl. You know that song? It's like Sugar, Sugar. Honey, honey, you are my candy girl. He showed me that song after he taught me that like under my tongue was milk and honey. And then he confirmed I was like candy to him. That's what he was showing me. His daughters were like candy to his ear. Isn't that cute? Candy. So sweet. Anything you do for God, praying, praising, dancing, preaching, doing your calling, whatever it is, it's so sweet to him. It's like you're tasty. Symbolically. He would tell me that, like I was delicious. I was like, this is funny. Just symbolically. It's like he eats the fruit and it tastes really good to him. You'll see that too in some music. People will be like, this beat is tasty or it's delicious. It's like the sound of it to him is like delicious. He eats the fruit. He's also showing me coconuts. You know how he was showing me I'm like the palm tree? I flourish like the palm tree. You know, certain palm trees, what do they bear? Coconuts. Coconuts are a fruit, even though it says nut in it. Do you know what coconut means? In Sanskrit, it's called surfala, meaning God's fruit. That's what it means. It's all very hidden. Let Jesus Christ feed you. Because out of him feeding you, that's how you'll bear fruit. It's like his seed, the seed from his fruit he feeds you becomes fruit on your tree. And it's like candy to him. It's so sweet. That's why it's fruit. See? It's hidden. It's hidden in there. So sweet to him. So be fed by him and grow. All right, love you guys. Bye.